Can you ask Altai that same thing as well?
I told you guys when we went to the Emirates and beat you, I said, don't look at this penalty shootout. Like this guy, I warned all of you.
He told us.
To be fair, he was shaky warrior at Tottenham Hotspur, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I think
But remember, because Fraser Forster was bad, so he kind of slid under a little bit.
Yeah, trust me.
Fraser Forster was awful and Tottenham won the game. Fraser Forster was awful. And yet, I think that was it 4-3? I can't remember the score. What was the score?
Something like that.
It was 4-3.
He needs to pack it in, you know. He needs to pack it in, mate.
Bayern is 27.
He needs to pack it in. He needs to pack it in, regardless of his age. He's bad as well.
He plays like they just found him in Carrington.
No, but what? Explain.
No, never Carrington. Off the street.
The street.
He never like a pro keeper, bro.
Guys, I want analysis.
He looks like a pro.
I want analysis of his attempt with Morgan Rogers. I want analysis.
There's no attempt.
There's no analysis to be done.
There's no analysis. He's a grown man. Like same way I cuss Onana for his stupid high top at this age. I'm a cuss Bayenda for his nonsense patchy beard as well. You're a grown man. Go Turkey and shave it off.
The guy went on his knees, yeah. The ball rolled between his hands, and it was like playing. He was playing pat ball with the ball.
No, I don't understand goalkeepers that could. You can use your hands
in the box,
save the ball.
So, guys,
I couldn't believe it.
In this moment, would you guys say that Villa were robbed?
I didn't watch. In fact,
Well,
I didn't
that was a goal.
I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch football at all. So.
It was definitely a robbery.
As in that moment, should Villa have had the goal?
Absolutely. No.
That referee cannot be in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, I saw the clip of that. That was insane.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
I can't really blame
you. The referee companies are getting tired now, man. You know they're going to be here next year.
No, but here's the thing.
He's not allowed.
Listen, no, David. According to who? Who's not going to allow him in?
He's
Who's not going to allow him in?
Obviously, I'm not in a position of power to do anything about it.
You could have fooled me,
guys.
He's not going anywhere.
Get VAR out of here, because you cannot tell me. Listen, once again, I have another strike on VAR.
He blew the whistle, bro.
Man are telling me
VAR couldn't even get involved.
Yeah, but listen, man.
Is that why?
Because he blew the whistle.
He blew the whistle too early, so VAR can't get involved. That's the rules.
I was going to ask, did he score? And then VAR said no.
No.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I did not hear the whistle.
Yeah, the referee blew the whistle before.
It rolls to Bayern. He's got two hands around the ball. Morgan Rogers kicks it.
No way.
He has the opportunity to put it in the net. I guess the referee's blown the whistle. Morgan Rogers scores, and he's like, "That's a goal." The guy never had it in his hands. And then when you see the replay, he never had it in his hands at any point. So I was watching it thinking, when is VAR going to intervene? But apparently,
VAR can only intervene when the ball's in the net.
Yeah, I remember that because it happened to us. It happened to us versus Liverpool when Havertz scored that goal that should have been a goal, and then they said, "No, it was a foul." But after he already shot it, which made rest was stupid, man.
Guys, VAR is bollocks, guys. Just call it what it is. This idea that you can't get involved because the referee blew his whistle, that's not the point. The point is the decision is wrong. So if the decision is wrong,
why is Oscar taking his camera off?
You need to correct it.
He's shooting from the hip. It's like he's down the gallon of whiskey.
Every argument I've made about VAR is me tackling these stupid rules that you lot keep talking about. I don't give a damn what the rule book says. If we see clear in HD 4K 8K, we've got it in multiple guys. We've got 100 cameras at a stadium.
Even when the rules are right, like
everybody understood right there and then what the correct decision should be. Everybody knew except the VAR.
Oh no, guys! This is
no, guys. Let's stop making excuses for VAR. I'm sick of it on this podcast. Making excuses for VAR.
It's not an excuse.
Robin, stop.
It's
stop
not an excuse.
Yes, you are.
You know what's right? He knows all our rebuttals.
You man are telling me no, because you know what it is. Because Ernest, do you know what BS I hear every week on this podcast? What the rules are? Stuff the rules. This is the point I'm trying to make. I don't give a damn what the rules are.
Real bad, man.
Stupid incompetence taking
Lawless.
hand. Yeah, this is why I said let the referees make mistakes without having cameras. I don't care. We can't have CCTV footage, and man are still not getting nicked. Man are still getting away with the charges. Man are still because of technicalities, because of this, that, and the other. Because
so I guess it begs the question: what's worse? We have cameras, and every single time a team is about to catch life, or should I say, the rule should be executed perfectly, a technicality saves them from being embarrassed
every time.
Or we have rogue refs,
bro,
running rampant in this prem.
The cameras is worse because at least back in the day, even though our referees were bent as a £5 note, at the end of the day, we knew they always had the excuse of human error. You always had the excuse of interpretation. You always had that leeway. You know what? We've all made mistakes in our lives. Every week we make mistakes. We do something stupid. We do something that we shouldn't be doing. Every week we do it. However, I have surveillance footage, and we're still pressing like this to the extent now Villa have guys. This has cost Villa the Champions League.
Bro, do you know what it is?
Villa could have got a draw, right? And a draw would have been enough for them to go through to the Champions
The
League.
ramifications of that mistake is so costly.
They've now put out a statement, Villa, accusing of having an inexperienced referee to referee such a big intense game.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is though? Do you know why I'm like, I hear you? Personally, I prefer VAR, but that's different. Someone put this tweet I saw today, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay. I can be chill with it. One was like when Villa first came up. Remember the whole thing was that they stayed up for technicality.
Sure.
I think this was before VAR, or was it the camera wasn't working? The point is, they shouldn't have stayed up, and they caught life.
I swear it was VAR.
Was it?
It was
VAR?
It was not VAR. It was Hawkeye technology. The goal line technology.
But the point is,
Peter said
no,
again.
I hear you. My point was where I'm like, whatever. It's like
It's not the only time that's happened.
you benefited from it once. The verification have now come back to you. Have come back.
No. I'm sorry.
No, Lola. You see the problem with that, yeah, is what I've said many times, that the Premier League, to me, thrives off of the entertainment of controversy.
100%.
This is why.
100%.
This is why, as much as we can look at, like, Villa didn't say this, like, check that goal again. Villa didn't tell the powers that be or run the take back. Villa, like, I accept the corruption that benefits me. Every Premier League team does, yeah. But you answering corruption for corruption is also not the answer. And the Premier League, I believe, thrives, and this is why they will never change it. They will never change it, and they'll never change it because one of if not the best league in the world has moments like, oh my God, if Villa had that goal allowed, what would, like, Newcastle wouldn't be here. And that conversation runs pub chatter, it runs through the House of Commons, back to the ends in South Kilburn, it runs everywhere. And now the conversation means more clicks for Premier League. How many of us have retweeted or tweeted something about VAR just from yesterday? How many of us in sitting here today, all them clicks bring more prominence, more visibility to the Premier League. Premier League, for them, it's like any publicity is good publicity. Cuss us out, praise us, it benefits us. It doesn't make sense for them. Like, Peter wants VAR out. That doesn't make sense for the coins coming in.
Just to bring it back to the topic at hand, okay? I just want to say this. This isn't the reason why Aston Villa lost the top four.
Oh, no, they're crap.
Because let me be very clear, guys. Ernest, you know what I'm like with Unai Emery. You know exactly what I'm like with Unai Emery.
Okay? Yeah, go on.
Your mate.
Coming for him, and I'll tell you why I'm coming for him. Because I thought I'll keep my powder dry on this guy, yeah? Because I thought let me let it marinate for a bit. The guy won about, I think, 6 or 7 games in a row, right? He was cooking in the league. But just before that, Because do you know what? If you're a Villa fan, you'd feel hard done by it. It's a little bit like when Arsenal lost the league last year, where we won 100 games in a row, lost one in the middle, and we lost the title basically in that Villa home game last year. But Unai Emery went through a run. I think they won about 7 in a row. They did tremendous. I remember they beat when I think about it, they beat obviously they beat Spurs. They beat I think Bournemouth, Fulham. They lost to City, but who doesn't? They beat Newcastle, they beat Southampton.
Some good teams in there. Yeah.
They beat some good teams, like winning Brentford away, this, that, and the other. I remembered where they lost the Champions League. And I'll tell you where they lost it. 4-1 at home away to Crystal Palace. Yeah. They drew 2-2 with Liverpool. They drew 1-1 with Ipswich at home. They lost to Wolves 2-0 away and drew 1-1 at home to West Ham. There was a series of games they went through that they never recovered from.
I would argue that your critique of Emery is harsh.
He conceded 51 goals this season.
Shall I say
the last time he conceded 51 goals? When he was the Arsenal manager and we lost the top 4 to Tottenham by 1 point. Concedes way too many goals. But look at and also you probably watched it on the Man United game the other day. It's harem scarum in defense with Unai Emery and always has been. When we talk about good Emery, we talk about the attacking flair. We talk about the goals that he gets out of strikers. We talk about all of that good stuff. Guys, the defending is not talked about enough with this man. And I lived with it for a year and a half, watching my teams get packed in. Arsenal conceded 51 goals, finishing 5th under Unai Emery. 51 goals is too many goals.
I will concede that that's the chink in his armor. But let me give you a statistic.
Give it.
He's 2 points off the points he finished last year.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is round and about. I think when you lot finished 5th, he finished on 70 points. He was 1 point behind Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
He's been at Villa for 2.5, 3 years. He's hit the 68 mark last year. He's hit the 66 mark this year. For right or wrong reasons, he's not qualified for the Champions League this year. I personally don't think it's the end of the world. I think he's where he should be if I'm the Villa owner. He's playing in Europe next year. Yes, it's nice that we beat Bayern Munich at home. Mm-hmm. It's nice that we were in the Champions League and at 1 point in top 3.
What's in the quarterfinal, my bro?
He got to a quarterfinal against PSG and lost.
And he shot him to the limit.
Because he didn't do enough in Paris. So I think that saying that Unai Emery had his flaws this season is where I leave it.
Yeah,
I'm not critiquing him beyond that.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah. To me, the guy has competed with
where he's supposed to be.
I'm not feeling sorry for him on some. Oh, he didn't have money. No, he spent money.
Oh, he's spent. Yeah.
He spent bread.
Some of it was badly. Some of it was badly as well.
He spent flipping baguette. He spent all types of bread has been spent at Villa Park.
Yeah.
And he sold Duran for 70 million. So I'm not gonna feel sorry for him in that regard. But if you're Villa,
although that could have cost them in the end.
I was gonna say that
it can cost them in the end as far as like Champions League money and that.
Like a firepower, yeah.
But ultimately, they put Emery on a 4-year contract. Emery, to me, is performing within
his remit.
The remit of what he's supposed to be doing at Villa.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Annie? Do you know what it is? I think because as Villa as a whole, where they end up now, if they would have any well, I was gonna say any part of Europe, but Europa League fighting for Champions League almost there works for them as a club. The issue that some people will have when it comes to Emery is specifically Emery, not the club. Aston Villa itself finishing where they are works for them. If they would have finished 5th, 6th, it still kind of works with where they are. The issue is, it's the praise that Emery got in general that is what's rubbed people the wrong way. The way they kind of put him as like being like Emery as an entity of Emery, he has won Europa, he's done all this. He's one of the best, but I think it's the manner in which they kind of talked about him as if he was like a pet. And you can do that face at Oscar, but it was what they were doing.